Hi there, I'm Kelli Fox from astrology.tv with a weekly astrological overview for October 3rd through the 9th. Now, for more detail about what's in store for your zodiac sign this week, be sure to visit astrology.tv/horoscope/weekly, or better still, sign up for one of my free horoscope newsletters that's emailed straight to your email inbox. That's astrology.tv/newsletters. So the good news, the great news, the fantastic news of the week is, we've just had Mercury turn direct. It's been retrograde for the past few weeks, of course, as always, wreaking havoc as Mercury retrograde does. It's not great for communication or for detail. We typically find with a Mercury retrograde, we have to go over things and over and over and over from the past. We need to be careful about conversations we've had previously because we might have to explain ourselves. We are still in the shadow period of the Mercury retrograde this week, but thankfully it really isn't technically retrograde. So what's been happening with this Mercury retrograde back September 10th, Mercury, it's the planet of the mind, of communication, of our thought processes. It turned retrograde in Libra, and then it continued its retrograde, and moved back into Virgo on September 23rd. And so now finally it is forward moving again. Now there is one more Mercury retrograde for this year. It's only the last few days of the year, and then it continues into January. So I can't really say this is the final Mercury retrograde of the year because technically it's not. But Mercury retrograde always just wreaks havoc. No matter how much you try to avoid it, it really can be quite, in the moment, like when we're going through it, it can be really painful. But really in hindsight, it's like, I know I had to redo it, or that had to get fixed, or I've left that hanging, or there was an open communication, or, things weren't just in order. So that's what Mercury retrograde does. And particularly for this just recent Mercury retrograde, not only was it retrograde in Libra, which is all about relationships and the justice system and finding equality and balance and equilibrium, not just in our personal relationships, but in our business relationships or our contracts. Now, astrologers always say, don't sign a contract when Mercury is retrograde because there'll be something that doesn't go right or something that needs to get redone. And this Mercury retrograde was no exception because it did turn retrograde in Libra, which is the sign of justice or the justice system. So Mercury also was retrograde in Virgo, and it just turned direct in Virgo. So this is all about the details. The other thing Virgo is connected to is our well-being. So there could be something that's open-ended from our well-being or around our well-being, or something that we've been looking into to help us get better or move forward. And so this would be the time to do that. Now, also this week, on the weekend, we've got Pluto coming out of retrograde. Now, typically the outer planets, and that's Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, retrograde about 40% of the time. And it's not usually a big deal, except when it's on one of your natal planets. Now, Pluto turns direct at 26 degrees Capricorn. So we're nearly at the very end of Capricorn. Pluto's been traveling through Capricorn since 2008. And so what that means is that we're getting ready to wrap things up, to move into actually not just a new Pluto placement, but a whole new era. Because in March of 2023, Pluto moves into Aquarius, and that's when we officially move into the age of Aquarius. But at the moment, we're focused on the here and now, and with Pluto moving forward in Capricorn, it's about systems and structure and authority, and looking to the past to help us with the future is what the lessons here for Pluto moving forward are. Now, if you're a cardinal sign and specifically born at the end of a cardinal sign, and that's Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, this is pertinent to you. This is about change, not necessarily change that you want, but change regardless. So this is about moving in new directions. But what's important for all of us is to make sure that we have long-term goals set in place. So, when we're forced to sort of turn on a dime, then we're already set up. We're already flexible enough that we can move, in another way. And then also this week on the weekend as well, we have a full moon, and I'm just checking the degree here. It's a full moon in Aries, 16 degrees Aries. And just double checking to see here what aspects the full moon will be making. Looks like a sextile to Saturn, and it could be classified as a wide square to Pluto. So just as I was saying, with this full moon, so full moon in Aries, there could be some issues around dependence and independence, specifically when it comes to your relationship, your closest relationship. But, what it's doing here is forming a challenging square to Pluto, which is just coming out of retrograde. So again, if you're a cardinal sign, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, then this is really significant. So it's all about change and being able to move in new directions. Some of us might be experiencing forced change. But the good news is, that brings opportunities, because there's an opportunistic 60-degree sextile, which is a 60-degree angle, which brings opportunity and ease and flow to Saturn in Aquarius. So in other words, if you're thinking outside the box to a current situation, when it comes to your closest relationships, it can work for both parties. It's just, let's not do things the same old, same old. Let's set long-term goals and plans, and let's think differently on how to approach a situation that might not have been working for you in your relationship. Even if you're single and looking, this would be a time to establish, what you want. Be spontaneous in a lot of ways, but not recklessly spontaneous. Spontaneous really is a key word here. And for all of us, the lesson of this full moon in Aries is about being the brave, fearless, and courageous warrior. So that's it from me. I'm Kelli Fox from astrology.tv. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time.